The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community that sees all things new. I'm Alpha Sanford and I am streaming live from Boston, Massachusetts. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, mabuhay. Welcome to Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher. Hi everybody, it's Alpha Sanford again, welcoming you to another episode of Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher. For today's episode, I am very excited because I feel like we have a legend here who's going to be sharing with us her wisdom in terms of how parenting can definitely support your child's true calling. She is a consultant, an author. She's been a founder of many organizations. And for the longest time, she has been the assistant professor at the De La Salle University College of Education in Manila. She was actually even awarded the 20-year teaching award in August of 2016. So she's been in the education field for a long time, right? And our guest today has a very wonderful perspective when it comes to parenting from her viewpoint as a child, a daughter, a parent, a mom, and as an educator. Regarding her background, she has a wonderful educational experiences that includes finishing her master's degree in early childhood and elementary education at the Bank Street College of Education in New York City. She also had her bachelor's degree in psychology, minor in elementary education from the Assumption College in Makati City. And she was a candidate in finishing her PhD in Executive Program in Educational Leadership and Management from the De La Salle University in Manila. So I guess without further ado, I want you to really take down notes and really listen to the wisdom of our very special guest, Teacher Maria Carolina Gustilo-De Ocampo, or as we will be calling her today, Teacher Maricar. All right, so let's welcome Teacher Maricar. Hi, Teacher Maricar. How are you doing?
Very well. Thank you for having me. And it's so nice that you're on the other side of the world and we're talking as if we're just neighbors.
That's
Thank
right.
you
And
for
it's
that warm introduction. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. It's really such an honor, Teacher Maricar, to have you on the show. I feel like this is gonna be the show for me, but as a parent and as an Asian parent, we are
Yeah.
always wanting to have the best for our children, and at the same time, looking out for what's gonna be good for them,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Very
So,
much.
yeah. So, how are you doing today, Teacher Maricar?
I'm fine. Thank you. I'm enjoying teaching up to now. I'll be having class in
Uh-huh.
this evening, my time in
Uh-huh.
Manila, and it's exciting. A new term is going to start. I'll be teaching two subjects in the master's program in early childhood education, and
Nice.
it's all online. It's because a lot of our teachers, I have at least three teachers who are out of the country.
Mm,
So one is in Bali, one is in China, one is in Korea, but they
mm,
all take up courses in DLS. And then I'm also doing a lot of webinars for different
mm.
associations, and that keeps me busy in spite of my uh, reality that I'm already in my senior years. But it I think it's a misnomer because I believe that you feel old even if you're 10 years old. It's in your mindset. So
That's right.
yeah, and I think meeting you and today and meeting all these young people, I'm full of hope that even if I'm not going to be here, my grandchildren will have a good world and a good place for them because you're still here, trying
Mhm.
to share your opinions and your ideas about how to make the world a better place to live in.
That's great. Yeah. Actually, Teacher Maricar, I really applaud you because you have an Instagram, you know how to use the StreamYard, the Facebook, you know all of these things. And the fact that, you are teaching many would-be teachers and leaders, education leaders around the world at your age. That's pretty wonderful.
Thank you, thank you. No, I think as I said, I will continue until God calls me.
That's nice.
So
Mhm.
and I think God is telling me not yet. So I said thank you, and I will pursue. And the nice part as a parent of
Mhm.
it's really um, what you like to do. It's like you're enjoying this. I can see it, the passion and you radiate the glow of joy, and that's how
Oh,
everyone should see their work.
mhm.
If you're not happy with your work, please don't change your work, please, because if you don't radiate the joy of your work, it's not going to help yourself and it's not going to help the other person. So
Oh, I love that. I
yeah.
think every single educator right now here in the US or around the world,
Yes,
they need to actually listen to what you just said, Teacher Maricar.
thank you. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to share with you my journey
Yes,
in
yes. Let's talk about that.
education. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
let's talk about that.
well, girls' school in the Philippines, and then after college, I was blessed enough to go to Bank Street in New York and I finished my master's there and spent 2 years teaching. And then I came home and then I got married. Then I left again for San Francisco, which
Okay.
my two kids were, no, my son was born, but my daughter was born there. So I was
Okay.
able
San Francisco.
yeah, in San Francisco. And I was
Okay.
able to teach also in San Francisco for a year and a half. So it was great. That was during the 80s, and it was really fun. Um, and then we came back home during the 1989, 1990s, and then after that, the rest is history. I'm teaching now, etc. But the nice part, I think, of this journey is that I was able to meet a lot of people, a lot of mentors. I was able to meet three important people that really affected my educational philosophy. One of them is Ken Robinson, uh,
Mm,
and you know him, I'm sure. He's a very
mhm.
well-known author, but sad to say he passed away last year.
Yes,
And then,
certainly, sir.
yes, and then of course Howard Gardner
Mm-hmm.
of Project Zero, which I was also able to attend. I was just like a fan and a starstruck person, just listening to him speak. And then the
Right.
other one is Mel Levine, who also is a very well-known author, but he passed away also. And
Mm,
that gave me a perspective of what I want education to be.
mm,
I really want education as a stepping stone to who you want to be as an individual.
okay.
I don't say please take up medicine, please take up please take up nursing, like Jokoy, take up nursing, and everything. And I was saying to myself, it really sounds so true, because a lot of parents say, Mom, what should I take up?
Yes. Yeah.
And then when they ask you, as for example, your daughter will ask, what should I take up? I hope you don't say being a doctor or being a nurse. Best thing for me, when my asked me, I said, I want to teach. And
Mm-hmm.
they said, why? And I said, because I like to be with young children, etc., etc. So my parents said, of course, my sisters would say, why don't you take your MBA, take up your master's in psychology? I said, no, I want to take
Mm-hmm.
master's in teaching. And
Okay.
and because of that, my parents were very supportive, even if they did not understand what I wanted to do with it. And the nice part is that they trusted our choices. And
Oh,
one thing I think also with female children, we were five daughters, so we
okay.
all had different careers. So and my father just said, I will support you in that, in any educational you want that you want to pursue. I
Mm-hmm.
will support you. And then, so the nice part is that he was able to, trust us in our educational training. But I also had to work part time for my pocket money. I was a daycare, after
Mm-hmm.
school program teacher. I was a babysitter in Sloan Kettering for all the doctors there, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I was working in Bloomingdale's as a gift wrapper during Christmas. So I really had a diverse. I loved it. I think experience is better than going to school, and so from then on, when we came back, that's also how I wanted my children to be. I wanted,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead,
So,
go ahead.
yeah, you were inspired by how your parents encourage you to
Yes.
pursue what you truly love, which is
Mm,
early childhood.
yes.
And this has been like your advocacy for the last few years, right?
Yes.
With your
Yes.
children and with any parents that you come across with,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
But yeah, Teacher Maricar, take me
Yes.
back. I heard
Yes.
earlier that you went to New York and you work as a daycare, but what really inspired you to become an early childhood educator, and why, out of all of the courses, you told your parents, I want to be an early childhood educator?
Yeah,
What
I know.
was the fire in you? What really made
What was the ember? What was the
what was the fire in you that
yeah?
really made you want to go for that?
I think I had an experience working with young children in my college years. I did volunteer work for the schools of Assumption in the different areas, like in Pasay, and then in Iloilo, and then also
Mhm.
Baguio. We were exposed to that, and then I was also exposed to a very new school called the Early Learning Center by Nina Lim Newson. She was one of the first preschool owners that came back from the States also, and it was a
Mhm.
progressive preschool, and it was a wonderful experience. I said I want to be like that. So from then on, Nina was also a mentor, and she said, "Go to Bank Street." So I said, "Okay, go." I didn't even know what it was, but I said, "I'm gonna go." So and then the nice part is that there were people who were there to give me, you know, strength and give me support and give me the rah 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 that you needed, because if you don't have those people, there might be times when you lose focus and you lose direction.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
the nice part in Bank Street, they had a mentor system. So I had a teacher mentor who I talked to every month or every two weeks. That was a long time ago, but that mentoring was wonderful then, and
Yes.
that's what I also do this at what I'm doing right now in LaSalle. I do mentoring. So they come and they call me up. Now they text me, they Viber me, they Instagram me, they personal message me. But to tell the truth, I don't say no. I just said I'm here to listen, and I really,
Mhm.
really want. Even if I can't give you the answer, a listening ear is the best. It's a
Yes.
beginning. It's a beginning, especially now with what's
Yes.
happening in the COVID.
Yes, opo. So Teacher Maricar, for those who don't know, like, they have the interest of coming and studying in abroad, can
Yes,
you
yes,
just tell a little bit in terms of your experiences,
yeah, yes.
studying for your master's degree in New York City? How is it
I know.
like? Yeah, how is it like? I
Um,
know it's been a few years, but
yeah, no, no.
just
It's very
yeah.
fresh in my mind.
Okay, tell us. Yes. How
Yeah.
is it like?
Um, I,
The
I'm just.
application
I'm
process, all of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. From Manila, of course, I wrote to the school, and I filled in the application form, and I was
Mhm.
able to get they we didn't have internet, or we didn't have StreamYard, so
Yeah.
we had a telephone call, right? I had a telephone call from Bank Street, and they interviewed me online. I mean, on the telephone, and then I was able to send in my requirements, and then when I went to the States, I was given a student visa, and
Mhm.
then if I finished in about a year and a half or 2 years. Then after that, they gave me another 2 years to
Nice.
teach. So that was about 4 years. So I think I always tell my students, even now, because a lot of them want to study abroad, you
Right.
just keep on writing, telling them that you are this, sell yourself in a sense, and
Mm.
you make yourself look so good that they want you to have you in their school, and tell them that you want to learn, because when you come back to the Philippines, you will implement whatever you have learned from them. And that's also what I've learned. I said you
Mm.
can go. I always tell my children, spread your wings. My daughter spent 4 years in New York also, but she
Mhm.
came back home because she said,
Mm.
Mom, you- America was the land that I was born in, but the
Mm.
Philippines home. So
Right.
she's here working, and then my son also is wanted to study abroad, but it didn't happen. But he still said I wouldn't want really to stay there, not because she
Mm.
doesn't not it doesn't want. It's just that um, learning something from another culture and coming home and applying it to our country is the best form of learning. So
Mm.
that's also what I want parents and other um, educators out there to encourage
Mm.
learning outside, to go out and
Mhm.
find out who you are, especially your culture. Not because people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, Carolina, you speak very good English." I said, "Yeah." I mean, I remember that comment, when I was in when I was in school. You speak so well and you write very well. I said, "Yes," because I was taught in English. I wasn't taught in Filipino, and
Right.
So now, there is a very very sad article on about the learning delays, or
Mm.
the learning poverty is
Mm.
that I'm reading about, not only in the Philippines but also around the world, even in the United States, that kids have lost 2 years. So,
Yes,
but
yes.
we cannot keep on. But we cannot say, okay, this year we're gonna put it down on you. You got to have all of this.
Mm.
No, you have to teach them how to be human beings. That's the most
Mhm.
important. Okay, they have lost 2 years of connections. They have lost 2 years of relationships. They need
Mhm.
they need
Mhm.
to know how to be kind, and how to
Mhm.
be fair. How to be a friend. So I always tell, even with my students in the masteral, I can give you all four. Four is the highest grade, right? But that make you happy?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. It will not make them happy. But what makes them happy is when they have realizations of what they can do, and how
Mm.
can they share community. So
Mhm.
my life in New York was really a nice transition, and then when I
Mhm.
came back home, it was another transition. And of course, I got married and I had children, and I'm just so blessed, really.
Yes. It
I'm really
seems like.
blessed. Yeah,
Yeah.
and and I feel that should not complain, because there's really no reason to complain. But I think I should give more of what I have,
Mhm.
of what little I have, or what I can give, to the point that I can make another person happy, or make another person feel good about themselves.
That's
That's what I
right.
want.
That's amazing, Teacher Maricar. I
Thank
love
you.
what I heard from you earlier about, teaching our children, how to be human beings. Was that how your parents taught you? Is that how they brought you up? Let's talk
Yes.
about your parents because,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, let's
My
talk about
parents
that.
were very wonderful human beings. My
Okay.
father was a neurosurgeon, and
Okay.
my mom was a housewife. But that
Okay.
doesn't mean she was a housewife. She had a life. She had 5 daughters, and
Mhm.
she raised up raised raised up raised her 5 daughters very well. Um,
Mhm.
of course, I was born during the time when children were not heard. Okay, we
Yes.
don't talk, but
Yes.
but I don't know if it's sad for my father or happy for us. We were able to discuss so many things during the dinner
Mhm.
table. All the ideas, all these 5 women or 6 women were talking and talking and talking, and my poor dad was just eating it. And then, and then, and then we would ask an opinion. He would ask an opinion, and we would ask, Dad, what do you think? He's just say, I agree with you, or I don't agree with you. But then I realized he was just listening to all of us. He was listening to our
Mm.
personalities, etc. And of course, I realized that his profession came first. He was a
Mm.
neurosurgeon. So I always asked my mom, how come I don't see Dad on Christmas, or on New Year, or on his birthday? And he said, Dad is working. I said, why? So I realized for the past how many years that Dad would do service.
Mm.
Would operate on a patient that can't afford. So on his
Mm.
birthday, on Christmas Day, and on New Year's Day, he was
Mm.
not with us. He was in the operating room, helping an indigent patient who cannot afford or needed that operation. And when I was growing up, we would have one sack of rice, one
Mm.
kaing of mango, and then how many lechons. As I said, where did this come from? And mom said, that's the way the patients of your dad, show appreciation. They
Mm.
give food,
Mhm.
etc. So then I realized that's how my parents wanted us, to realize that we are blessed, but also we can
Mm.
share. And
Mhm.
people will share what they can. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be in any form of kindness, any form of being there. My
Mhm.
parents were amazing people, and one thing I realized also, I mean, I learned from them, is prayer is what really brought them together.
Wow.
So we would pray every night. I would hear the rosary, and my mother would say out, and then I would hear Romy. That's the name of my father. Romy, answer. Okay, my father would answer. He would be falling asleep, and then they would say the litany of the Blessed Virgin Mary. That's the longest. I said, oh my
Oh
God,
my gosh.
oh my, oh my gosh! I said to myself, I guess it's the prayers and trust to each other, and knowing what was good and what was fair for all, and for us, for their daughter. And we also adopted a brother, because we didn't have a
Okay.
brother, so we adopted a baby boy, and now he's in his 50s already. So
Mm.
my home is it's a simple home, but we had so many wonderful. I think all of us have beautiful stories to share, and
That's right.
I'm just so happy that I'm able to share with you today.
Yeah. Wow. I
Yeah.
feel like I want to capture everything that you had just mentioned about your parents, but let me just summarize what I heard, Teacher
Yes.
Maricar. I
Yes.
feel like, based from what I heard, that your dad's charitable and his love for humankind is what really brought you to education.
Yes.
Yeah. And what I also heard is those dinner, the
Conversation.
educated women, or young girls during that time, really help you flourish and really follow your passion in life, right?
Yes.
And how
Yes.
your dad listened to each of the personalities of his girls around the table. Is that how you were molded? Is that how you were brought up? Is that
Yes.
the impact of your parents in terms of who you are and how
Yes.
you have followed your true calling in education?
Yes. Yes. Very true, Teacher Alpha. Miss Alpha. Sorry, I wanted you teacher.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, good.
yeah,
Call
yeah.
Alpha.
But
Yeah.
but Teacher Alpha, that's how it is. I think if we have very good models, like our
Mm-hmm.
parents or our grandparents or a mentor that you can look up to, they can really affect us in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our parents are our first teachers.
Right.
So yeah, so they're the ones who model the behavior. And I really think I believe in walking your talk. You
Yes.
can keep on talking and saying you have to be kind, you have to be good, you have to, but if you don't do it, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the children won't understand. But even if you don't say this is a kind gesture, but you go to
Mm-hmm.
when I enter the classroom and I see this little boy really having a hard time and just get in the corner, I walk and I go down to their level and I say, I
Mm-hmm.
put I put my hand on his hand and I say, "Are you okay?" Then he looks
Mm.
at me, no, okay. Would you like me to stay with you? And then he says, no, okay. So, would you like me to go? He says, yes. But if you need me, I'm right here beside you. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's also how my parents were. They did not um, say everything it's going to be okay. Everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything's okay. There'll be days that are, I'm sorry, I'm going to use the word bad word, but um, shit,
You call it as it is, Teacher
Yeah,
Maricar.
yeah,
We all
some,
have those days,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Right?
But at the end of the day, it's not really that bad. It's also your perspective and your mindset. That's
Sure.
also, you know,
Yes.
if I that's why I love Carol Dweck when she says it's your not yet moment in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Not
yet
yet.
ready. Yeah, not yet, but it
Yeah.
will come. And
Yes.
so I love her mindset, her theory that says, you have to have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is stuck. I'm sorry, it's
That's
stuck.
right.
But the growth mindset is, I'm not yet there, but maybe I can try tomorrow, and
That's
maybe
right.
it's gonna work. That's why even now, I'm still learning about all of these techy things, but not yet. Maybe tomorrow I'll be okay. And uh, I will not just lose it. Of course, there are days I lose it, and I call up my children. I can't find my file. I said, and she said, it's still there. I said, I can't find it. She said, not to worry. Recall your steps. Okay. I found it, thank you. And then I closed the phone. And they, and they tell me, you found it. Yes, that's why I closed the phone. But I think it is our way of looking at things, and I think it's so important to give your daughter. How old is she, teacher?
My daughter is 15 years old.
Oh,
She's entering sophomore.
such a wonderful age. I wish I was a sophomore in high school. I had so much fun. No, honestly, I mean, high school was fun. Um, my classmates in high school are still my classmates.
Uh-huh.
And we celebrated our 50th um, golden high school reunion last year.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Wow.
And,
That's
and they
long.
all look great.
Yeah.
I thought to myself,
Including you. Including you, Teacher Maricar,
thank
right?
you. No, but I have friends who are really slim and into yoga. And I thought, sabi ko, no, no, no. They, 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 they are ladies of leisure. They take care of their grandchildren, etc. Me, I want to work. And they say, Marika,
Mm-hmm.
you should stop working. I said, no, I'll go insane if I don't stop. If I stop working.
Yeah,
So
which is why you're here,
I
right?
know, I know.
Which is why
So
you're here.
so Alpha, I was going to tell you that it's really my parents who helped me
Mm-hmm.
become who I am, and I'm ever grateful. And then when I married my husband, we both had the same culture and the same
Mm-hmm.
belief system. And to tell the truth, even marrying a foreigner, for example, or an American, like my sister's married to an American, it really depends also on your mindset and your belief system.
Right.
It doesn't have to be because you're Asian or you're American, your
Mm-hmm.
culture is this way. You can find a way to align it and to make it
Right.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
bring
Yeah.
out the strength of the Asian culture and bring out the strength of the American culture, and your daughter will be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Teacher Maricar, I have two questions for you.
Sure, sure.
Two scenarios.
Yes.
So, first scenario, what if we have like a set of parents here who are not as economically blessed as you have been, and they view or they try to steer their children in taking a course that may not be as economically profitable in the long run. Let's just say, for example, you know, uh, being an actress or performing arts, right?
Yes, yes.
What would be your advice to parents like that?
Yeah, I think that it's very important for parents to understand that because of um, you need money to go to school. I mean, as of now,
Mm-hmm.
the way I see it, um, yes, you do need money, but you also need a very very positive way of looking at education. I've
Mm-hmm.
been looking. I've been mentoring a lot of my students, and I'm amazed how they can find scholarships.
Mm.
How can they can find scholarships? And the most important thing is that when they write to the school and say, I want to apply for a scholarship, I'm
Mm-hmm.
from etc etc, they really like to have diverse student line up in the university. Like, I have a friend whose daughter just left for University of Amsterdam, full
Mm-hmm.
scholarship in psychology. But she has to learn how to speak Dutch. But
Right.
she will learn. And then another one is in Bergen, University of Bergen, and she's also finishing her master's in education. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel that sorry, I'm so sorry. Can you hear that?
That's okay, Teacher
Sorry,
Maricar. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no worries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody's calling.
Somebody's calling you.
I know. I'm so sorry. I think that's my son abroad.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
going back, I just think you have to be very vigilant in looking for scholarships, and also the student the student office or
Mm-hmm.
the guidance office, because they have a lot of brochures that are being given out, and a lot of schools are opening their doors to people who are offering scholarships. And
Mm-hmm.
I know having financial difficulty, or not being able to support your child to a good education. I think education is how you make it. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember Vice President Pelaez. Um,
Mm.
he was
No,
also yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, you were not born yet, but at the during my time, he was the classmate of my father, and
Okay.
Vice President Manuel Pelaez went to Pamantasan ng Maynila, a not very well known
Mm-hmm.
university, and he took up his law. And when he graduated and took the bar, um, he was number one in the bar. So Pamantasan of Manila was
Mm-hmm.
known.
Mm.
So so it's really not what school you come from, but it's also the education that you have had, and
Mm-hmm.
also a lot for me, a lot of mentors, a lot of support groups. Um, I always believe that you can apply for scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
50% is better than none, correct? Like
Right. Yeah.
LaSalle is
Yeah.
offering, as LaSalle is offering 50% and above,
Oh, wow.
depending, yeah, to
Mm-hmm.
deserving students. And a lot
Okay.
of schools in Manila, Ateneo, I think even your UP is free, but that's
Yeah.
another story. And then UST also, and
Okay.
all the other wonderful universities here in Manila have scholarship programs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I
Yeah.
really believe in scholarships programs. I really believe in private institutions that have educational portfolios for
Mm.
people who want to study. And also, like for example, overseas in around Southeast Asia, like
Mm.
Sophia University, Nanyang University in Singapore, or
Mm-hmm.
University of Hong Kong, or
Mm.
all of them have scholarships. So you just have to apply, and if you make it, you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's some that you say, we're not so smart, etc. But I think being resilient and being, um, you know, having this can-do attitude, or try your very best attitude, is so much better than saying I can't do it, and so I won't go to school.
That's right. So
Yeah.
I heard a few things, Teacher Maricar, especially for parents. I heard that, economics should not be a hindrance in
Yes.
going for the education or the kind of education that you want to have,
Yes.
right? Because there are a lot of help out there, such as scholarships, right? And then the
Yes.
other thing that I heard is that at the end of the day, it's really what you make out from your educational experiences that's really going to help you,
Yes.
become a successful person. Much like to
Yes.
your example about the former vice president of the Philippines,
Yes.
Manuel Pilaes, which and who I actually don't know, and now I know. So thank you for sharing in terms of
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Teacher Maricar, you also
Yes.
mentioned a few educational thought
Institution.
leaders, yeah, and
Yeah.
thought leaders earlier.
Yes.
And
Yes.
before we take a break, I just want to repeat some of the names that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are watching, especially in the Philippines, Carol Dweck, she is the author of Growth Mindset.
Mm-hmm.
We heard from Teacher Maricar a few things earlier about the not yet. Go and read that book. It has been a game changer in terms of my perspective regarding being stuck, and now, really a chance for all of us to really continue to grow,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you also mentioned about Sir Ken Robinson earlier.
Yes. Yes.
um, I've been trying to remember the name of the book, the first book that I read that he wrote. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you can see him in TED Talk.
Yes,
TED
yes,
Talks, yeah, on
yes,
the YouTube. It's really
yeah.
nice.
It's very nice. And Howard Gardner, multiple
Howard Gardner,
education.
of course, hands down.
Yes, yeah. So, folks,
Yeah.
if you are watching this, make sure later on that you search those three education thought leaders and learn about them. It's great to really understand their philosophies on education, and that could actually, or it may help you as a parent if you're a parent, and as an education leader, it may help you even become clear in terms of your philosophy on education, right?
Thank you.
So, Teacher Maricar, when
Yes.
we come back, I would
Yes.
like to actually talk about passion versus strength. So, why don't we take a break? And then when we come back, let's talk about that. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. See you in a bit.
Juan Lu and his puppets face to face with special guests Makata Tawanan, Chess Box, and the Lunaria Marionette Show.
Alam mo, Nicolò, kung wala ako, hindi ka magsasalita. Alam mo, Tito Anlo, kung wala ako, nagsasalita ka nag-isa. Kung wala ako, wala kang masusuot. Kung wala ako, wala kang nakakain.
October 30, Sunday, 7 p.m. at the La Verdad Auditorium in Apalit, Pampanga. Buy your tickets now and see you soon, face to face.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. All right. Before we took a break earlier, we were talking about how the parents of Teacher Maricar really help her find her true calling in life, which is really about education. And now we're going to bring her back because I want to ask her a few more questions. This time, I want to ask her in terms of passion versus strength, or how do you find your passion, or do you follow your passion, or do you follow your strength, right? So, without further ado, let me bring her back. All right, Teacher Maricar.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back, Teacher
Thank you.
Maricar.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
so
So,
let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about finding your passion or finding your strength. Which one do you believe? So, say for example, I am a 16-year-old in the Philippines, or maybe no longer, maybe 18 na ngayon, right? Because they changed it to K to 12. But when I was
yes.
going to college, I was 16.
No.
Really, I was 16 when I went to college, right? So, for those who are trying to find their way around, or trying to figure out what they want to major in college, which one should they follow? Should they follow and find their passion first, or should they try to find their strength? What are your
Okay.
thoughts in terms of that?
Okay. First of all, education now is so different from when we were growing up or when you were still here in Manila. Um, I've seen the changes about
Okay.
how easy it is to go to school, especially with all your gadgets, etc. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you education 5.0 is anywhere, anytime, anyhow, any place. I mean, you can really learn on your
Mm,
own if you're very much in control with what you want to do. Um,
right.
but as also as a parent, I
Mm-hmm.
also try to see the other side of what is what really pushes my children or my son, my son and my daughter to do what they wanted to do.
Okay.
My daughter is an artist. She's a
Mm,
muralist. Um,
nice.
but when she was growing up, she said, "Mom, do I really have to go to a school that has all of the grades and all of that?" I said, "Yeah, you have to. You have no choice." And but she said, but do I need to be trained how to be an artist? I said,
Mm,
yes.
mm,
An artist needs as much training like a doctor. You need
right.
to start from basic theories and concepts, etc. You should also have a mentor that you look up to. And so she started painting at 10, and so now
Wow.
she's a muralist. She makes a lot of
Mhm.
uh, wonderful pictures, and she was also last year she was working with Louis Vuitton as the
Nice.
first in-house artisan painter for the trunks in Manila.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but it's really amazing. I said that job just fell on her lap. But I guess after 1 year, she said, "Mom, I want me to go back to my mural painting." I said, "Okay, you go for it." And so and then I realized that it's really your strength that you
Mm,
have to bring out, right? Her strength is
mhm,
in her art, okay? And
mhm,
but then if you only have the strength, but if you don't have the passion, it
mm,
doesn't work.
mm,
Right. So you have to have the passion there, and
mm,
that's also what I saw. That my husband, you know, graduated with a business degree, but ended up
mhm.
making bread and making
Okay.
food and everything like
Yeah.
that. So I said he had the interest and he had the strength. It's very good, but the passion was there that
Mm,
moved him to what he's doing right now. So for me, as a parent, I will not insist that you have to do something that will give you money. Of course, everybody wants to
mm.
earn. I mean,
Sure.
I mean, please don't. If anybody doesn't want to make money, Tell me why. I don't know why. Because everything, every movement that we do in our lives, we have to pay. Even,
Right.
you know what I mean. So, and it's a reality, but it doesn't. You don't have to make it as your end goal. To make
Mm.
my end goal to be happy with my work, and to be
Mhm.
paid for it.
I
Okay,
love it.
and that's also what my I tell my children: be proud of your work, but you also
Yeah.
have to charge, and you also have to you tell them this is how much I am worth. Because
Mhm.
if you don't, because it's very hard to find a rubric that says an artist costs this much. You know what I
Yes.
mean, like Picasso did not say I am worth this much, and then or Manansala, who's one of the most famous Filipino artists, didn't say this is how much it cost. Amor Solo
Mhm.
also didn't say, but
Mm.
my God, look at their paintings now. It's
Yeah.
yeah, but they just started slowly because they were
Mhm.
passionate with painting, and then they're also and and you we're impassioned with our work in education, and I really believe that people will say and will see that we're good at what we're doing.
Mhm.
We always update ourselves. I mean, I'm sure you always read up, and I try to take up conferences and workshops every year until COVID came, which
I
after that
know.
I stayed home. But I still do
Mhm.
online webinars, and I try to. So passion and strength really go together.
I love
It's
it. Mhm.
um, it's really a tandem. It's a tandem.
Mm.
Without your
Mhm.
strength, you can't find your passion. Without a passion, without strength, also does not really find the correct fit. And people can say, I have to have it right now. You cannot have it. It takes the gift of time is the best. Give
Mhm.
yourself time, especially now. Give yourself time to rest, to pause, recalibrate, realign, all the REs, redirect, find
Mhm.
because there are just so many things that are happening during the COVID that we were
Mhm.
never prepared for. I mean,
Mhm.
like I had classes face to face, and all of a sudden I had to wing it, giving
Yeah.
class
Yeah.
online. I
Mm.
mean, that was really that's why I got to know about Zoom. I got to know about Google Classroom. I got to know
Mhm.
about the StreamYard, which I'm still having a hard time, but it's okay. I'm gonna get it. And then there's just so many things that we had to adjust. But it did
Mhm.
not stop us, right? It did not
Mm.
stop us from continuing. Here we are talking about it, and we're
That's
learning
right.
from
Yeah. Oh, ma'am, ang galing niyo po. That was really a wonderful and very wise advice. Ang galing-galing. Yeah. So, folks, those of you who are watching right now, make sure that you take note of that. Passion and strength go hand in hand. Now, Teacher Maricar, I have another question.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
How do parents make sure naman that when their kids are pursuing their passions, na hindi sila magugutom in the long run, meaning they're not going to go hungry in the long run.
I understand that
So how?
completely. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
One thing I've learned also from my parents, etc. My
mhm.
father paid for tuition, and then
Yeah.
that's it. So, and then my mother just gave a little bit, in a few months, etc. But
Yeah.
I took the initiative to find after school work. So,
There you go.
what I did is that I did babysitting,
Mm-hmm.
sloan catering, and I also worked in the after school program in Bank Street. I took care of a class after 3 and to
Mm-hmm.
5 up to 5, and then the money that I earned from the after school program, I told them to just pay it to my tuition. So it
Yeah.
was okay. So
Yeah.
I learned and I enjoyed it. And then the other one was doing work, during the Christmas holidays, I was gift wrapping in the big stores in New York. And then the other thing also that I've learned is that in spite also of trying to find a racket or to make money,
Mm-hmm.
is also just doing service. You don't really have to pay, but the mere fact that
Mm-hmm.
you're offering service or reading, I I I was able to do some church work, and then there
Mm-hmm.
were some people there who were, saying, "Oh, do you need some books for school?" I said, "Yes, I do." So they said, "Can you just give me the titles?" And then they bought it for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, "You're very kind." That's why I don't throw any books. Like, I think my husband wants to kill me already because my books are already 40 years old, but they're still in my house. So I said to myself, books are precious. They're
Mm.
so precious. For me, you should have a home library so that your children can see what books you read. Because
Yes.
reading, you develop the skill and the joy of reading by
That's
modeling the behavior. It's also like listening to music. I mean, I know it's so easy to go to Spotify, etc., etc., but the choice of music is very.
mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all I know is that in making money, God is amazing. It happens.
Yes.
Like when
Yeah.
you pray, it comes. And then
Yes.
when it's meant for you, it will be there. And
I
of
love
course,
it.
I really think that you should also work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe there's a point in our lives wherein our parents won't be there. So
Yeah.
like now, my friends would say, "Why are you still teaching? Why?" Because I like to work, and I also, well, my pay is not so high, but it's okay. But I'm just so happy with the different people I'm able to meet in my
Mm.
education field, and can and help me do a lot of things that I'm proud of. Like,
Mhm.
I worked with Kidzania. I
Mhm.
don't know if you know that it's entertainment uh,
Mhm.
group, and then I trained all their people for the floor.
That's
Sad to say, because of
amazing.
the
Mm.
sad to say, because of the COVID, they had to close.
Oh,
A lot of things closed down. That's also what I
yes.
feel so bad. So, um,
Mhm.
if there are any, like, we I try to give free workshops with some
Mm.
friends, and then opening it to public school teachers, and that's also
Nice.
what we try to do, because I can't go to school. I don't really go
Mhm.
out. But
Mhm.
I can reach people online, through Zoom, through text, like now, and
Mhm.
the money comes. I don't know. It's a
Mhm.
blessing. It's like
Mhm.
manna, as they say, manna from heaven. It's really from heaven. You really don't know. It just appears. Thank you. And
Yeah.
of course, there's nothing wrong with uh, asking people for help, but not too much. I think for me, it's very important to try first on your own. And if
Mm.
you can't, it's okay. Ask for help. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Mhm. I
It's
love
not a
it.
it's not a sign of weakness.
Yes. Oh my
Being
gosh. Yeah. That's wonderful, Teacher Maricar. I think when you love what you do, blessings come to you in many shapes and forms. And I feel like the things that you do, even at your age, giving free workshop, free training. And by the way, folks, let's put it right there again on the bottom, on the comments, and on right here on the screen. Let's put Teacher Maricar's information here so that if any one of you, especially the public school teachers and principals, regional directors, all of you, if you are looking for someone who will be sharing her knowledge on parenting and education in general, here is how you can get in touch with Teacher Maricar. There you go. MC de Ocampo 80 at gmail.com. And remember earlier, I mentioned to you that she also has an Instagram. And there she is.
yeah,
You can also connect with her at De Ocampo. So make sure that you follow this legend. And I'm calling her a
Um,
legend because I feel like she has a lot of things to share. And can you believe, Teacher Maricar, it's been an hour since you and I
oh
have.
my God, we've been talking.
Yes, we've been talking for an hour.
I think we should have coffee together or a little bit of wine after.
Yes, actually, I don't drink wine, but I drink coffee. So
Okay.
when I go to the Philippines, I'll make
Yes,
sure that,
please. Yes,
yeah,
I'll tell Miss Apple that we should meet. And thank
yeah,
you so much for inviting me and to be part of this. I'm very, very humbled, but also happy that I have met you. You are the next. You're our future. You're gonna be doing more of these things, and I know the blessings will come because
amen. Yeah.
you you're doing what you love, and as
Hmm.
you said, because we love, it replicates, and it's like a rippling effect to all the other things that we want.
Amen. And Teacher Maricar, before we go,
Sure.
can you share one more inspiring stories to our
Okay.
listeners? Let's
Okay.
give them 10 extra minutes because this has been like an awesome conversation with you.
Thank you
So,
so much, teacher Alpha.
yeah. So why don't you
Okay.
share with us one more inspiring stories? One more
Okay.
inspiring story.
One story I want to share is that I helped a lot of people open their schools.
Mhm.
Was they said, Miss Maricar, I want to open a school. I said, sure. And then how do we do it? He said, if I tell you how to do it, it's gonna be my school.
Yeah.
But if we walk together in this journey, it is your school, and I can literally let go of your hand, and you can go all the way forward and make your school a wonderful school. And I'm just so blessed that I have worked with so many wonderful young people who have their own great schools, and really, they just call me up, Miss. Can I ask? Can I ask her? Sure. I mean, I'm never going to say no to people that I helped, and
Mm-hmm.
and I want them to pursue, all of the blessings that they're doing because they're helping young children and their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the first schools that they will encounter is, that's the schools of early childhood preschools, like
Right.
3s and 4, and there's even infant toddler program.
That's
So
right.
especially now, it's very Philippines, but with the daycare centers, they have infant toddler. But even
Mm-hmm.
private schools now have infant toddler program. So,
Mm-hmm.
and with the COVID, there's a lot of people saying, what should we do? I said, just follow the basic protocols, and just don't
Mm-hmm.
have, if you can have your schools outdoors, much much better. But if you
Right.
cannot, just have them have open all your windows and all the electric fans on, etc., and let the kids enjoy and play. I am also an advocate for play. I really want to inform parents and teachers and new teacher Alpha that play is the most important thing in the lives of children and also of human beings.
I agree.
There's the Institute of Play, which I've read. Their philosophy is that from infancy all the way up to adulthood, all the way up to my age,
Mm-hmm.
we still have to
Yes.
enjoy, because that is where, when we are happy and when we have found what really really makes us joyful, is comes already the passion, and comes already your strength. And because
Mm-hmm.
of that, you become a wonderful human.
Mm.
So I just hope that I'm able to share something about the people that I worked with, and how you can affect them in the most positive way. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Teacher Maricar. And to sum it up, you're right. Even at this stage in our lives, play is very important.
That's another story, right?
I know it's another story, but anyway,
It's okay. It's okay.
maybe when I go to Manila, we can do like a live Facebook, right, with you, and we can talk about play
Yes.
and how to really instill play among young kids all the way to adults, because that's what we need in order to live a very good life.
Amen.
Yeah. So, Teacher Maricar, well, I guess this is it for now.
Yes. Thank you
And
so much.
thank you. I applaud you for the work that you have done with many, many people around the Philippines through your consultancy company, through your help, especially those who are starting their schools, your knowledge, and you being an assistant professor for a long time at DLSU. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, may you continue to inspire young folks to pursue their passion. May you continue to have the strength, good health, and may you always be a blessing to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Teacher Alpha. Thank you.
You're
My
welcome.
pleasure being here.
You're welcome. Until next time, Teacher Maricar, thank you again. And to all our viewers, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher. I'm glad that you are here with us today, and I hope that you were able to really learn a lot from Teacher Maricar today, especially if you are a parent. I've learned so much, and I feel like I need to rewind this interview 2 or 3 times and really dial in to supporting your children or our children when it comes to their life's true calling. Until then, I'm your host, Alpha Sanford, and you're watching and you watch Once a Teacher, Always a Teacher. Good evening, good morning, mabuhay. Until next time. Bye for now.